All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, as you can see on the screen here guys, we've got some purple Luffy action, some PLuffy action lined up for today. This is going to be more meant to be more meta focused, more competitive focused for the channel, because I will say this, of course I cater more to the casual audience, I think, more to the deck builders, the out there, you know, crazy deck builder types. Those are my people, that's me, right? But I will say this, I do like to have something on the channel for everyone. I want to have a little bit of something on my channel for every single kind of player, whether you're a new player or a veteran player, somewhere in between, whether you're a more competitive player or a more casual player, whether you like to build your own decks or use meta decks. I want to have a little bit of something for everybody. So with that in mind, guys, today we're going to be diving into purple Luffy, and this is going to act as a deep dive, a comprehensive guide on how to play purple Luffy in the OP09 meta. I've got a few matchups I lined up for this. Not every matchup out there, but I do have a few matchups that I focused in on, that I lined up, so we can kind of get an idea of how to play this deck in OP09 for the more serious crowd. Okay, and I will say this, we'll see how this video is received. So I have today's video and tomorrow's video already lined up. Today is purple Luffy, tomorrow is actually Blackbeard. And it's going to be in the same vein of like, okay, I want this to be focused on a more competitive, geared video. I want this to be a more competitively geared video, if that makes sense. Sorry guys, a little clumsy, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Now, if today's video and tomorrow's video is received pretty well, then I'll go ahead and finish it out with getting down like a Shanks leader, which I kind of want to do anyway. It'll probably be Shanks into Blue Doffy. So almost the 4 Emperors, right? Buggy's getting left out, I guess. But you know, for the sake of what we're doing, those 4 decks that I just said, Shanks, Blackbeard, Blue Doffy, and purple Luffy, I would kind of consider those 4 almost like the 4 Emperors of the OP09 format. So you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But yeah, so let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. We do have a lot to talk about with purple Luffy. And like I said, if today's video and tomorrow's video is received well, like if people actually like it and enjoy it, I think I probably will just go straight down the line and do Shanks and then Blue Doffy into like a 4-part series. And who knows, if all that goes well, maybe we'll do a green and a yellow one as well. We'll do like a Jory, Bonnie, and an L. We'll see that. We'll see what happens. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Now, for today's video, I will have everything time-stamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below. But today is going to be a more focused video. We're not going to be doing a VV Lab or a topic of the day. We are locked in. We're tuned in on purple Luffy. We're going to see what we can learn from this leader today and kind of get an idea about it. And hopefully this video will help people learn how to play purple Luffy who might be thinking about trying it out. Or maybe it will help people play against purple Luffy, seeing what kind of cards are needed to do this, that, and the other, and how the deck runs. That can help you get better at the matchup. Okay? All right, so with that in mind, we're going to hop straight into the deck list. We're not going to go to the first game. We're actually going to hop into the deck list first for the deck that I'm running, so you guys have an idea of what's going on. Let me move the leader thing. There we go. Okay, so this is the deck list we're going to be using today. This is a pretty generic list. I just kind of saw what everyone was running, and I made a few revisions of my own here and there, but I'm pretty sure this is just a very standardized list with a few one-ofs off here and there for the numbers that, you know, comes down to your preference as a player. So, yeah, so this is the list. Let me run through it real quick and we'll talk about it. Running 4 Boncray, Bentham, Mr. 2. Now, real quick, I can already imagine people might be thinking who are more on the competitive side, but maybe don't have a full budget to put into this game. Let me just show you guys real quick what I would recommend in the place of Mr. 2 real quick, because this is the only super expensive card in the deck, guys. We'll talk about the secret rare as well in a second, but this is really the only extremely expensive card in this entire list. Some are on the verge, like they're a little pricey, like I think the 6-cost Sanji and probably a few others are like, you know, right under the $10 range. But this card that we're looking at on the screen on the left here, Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham, is a $40 plus card right now for USD for the West. So what I recommend you play in the place of this for now, number one, play whatever you want in the place of it. But what I recommend as far as like a one-to-one translation for what we're trying to do would be this guy right here. I always recommend it. He's a 4-cost, 2,000 power, 1k counter character. Trigger play this card. That's the one advantage he has on the secret. But his on play puts a Dawn into play. Yeah, excuse me. His on play puts a Dawn into play rested. So it does not come into play active like Boncray. And notice Boncray has a when attacking effect that is actually very, very relevant into the Blackbeard matchup. But hey, like I said, if you're trying to play on a budget, this is the card I recommend right away. Now, moving on from there to the 2K counter Franosuke, 2 of the 5 cost Kid, 4 of the Sanji, 4 of the 9 cost Linlin. I think this card is incredible. 2 Sanji, the 7 cost, 4 of the 1 cost Trafalgar Law blocker, 2 of the Nico Robin blocker, 2 of the 9 cost Luffy. This is another one where, okay, I built this deck in such a way that I did have some ideas for the replacements. This is what I recommend for the card for the time being. I've got 2 options for you. Either A, go up to 4 of Sanji. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's at least going to be good enough for now, I think, for the time being, until you can get your hands on the 9 cost character. Just go up Sanji. Or if you want to keep it a 9 cost card, I think this is also another very strong consideration here for you to have. Yes, it does go a long way back in Dawn, but again, we're trying to work for the players who are building around a budget. Okay, so then we have 4 Usohachi, 2K counter, excellent. The Onami, 4 of, 5 cost Sanji, 4 of, 4 cost Zoro, 4 of, 7 cost Luffy's, 4 of, and 4 of the Gum Gum Giant. Now, one thing I do want to say is if you do need a replacement for this card, just run Blast Breath. Let me bring that up real quick. It's not as good. I'm not saying it is as good, but it is at least a 1 cost 4K counter. So we do have at least a 1-to-1 comparison there for the counter stuff. However, try to get your hands on this card, guys. I don't think it's that expensive yet. It's just a rare from OP09, but it is probably going to be on the more expensive side for the rares, like probably $1 to $2 USD a piece. We'll see what happens there, though. I'm not sure how the market's going to go. Now, for anything else you might need a replacement for, there is one other card you should consider very seriously. Actually, Magellan. I didn't mean... this is not the card I was going to say. I would consider this card if you already have these laying around. But there's 2 cards in particular, if you need anything in here that you don't quite have. Go up your count of Eustace Kids, go up your count of Queens, or go up your count of Franosuke. Jinbei is another decent option, by the way. If you don't have Queens or more Eustace Kids, and like say you just need, and say you don't have the 2 of these because they're too expensive, going up 2 Jinbei is really not the worst thing in the world. It's not a crazy card, but it is a 5 cost blocker you can cheat out with your 7 cost effect, right? So it's really not that bad. Magellan is also kind of a nightmare, and Franosuke is pretty decent as well in this situation, because if you don't have, say, all the Sanjis you need, okay, then just go up your Franosukes for now. They're not as good, in my personal opinion, but it doesn't matter. It's still a 2K counter, it's searchable, and it's a 5 cost character you can cheat out potentially if you need to with your Luffy Taro. It is an option. I'm not saying it's a good option, I'm just saying it does add more, more options there. And then one more card I do want to mention. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, so the new Trafalgar Law, he says look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 cost 2 or greater card with a Straw Hat Crew or Heart Pirates type, and put it into your hand, and place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. Well, a very good option in the place of one of these cards, like maybe if you don't, like I said, if you don't have the Eustace Kids and you don't want to run the Queens, another decent option, I think it's probably the lesser of all the good options we were talking about, is actually Trafalgar Law, because this is a 4 cost 5K blocker with a 1K counter, and it does have a potential upside of Dawn -1, making your opponent trash 2 cards if they have 7 cards in their hand or more. And this is actually searchable by the 1 cost Trafalgar Law searcher. So it's not, it's a cool tech card on top of anything, even if you don't need it for any other reason. Like maybe if you don't like running the 2 cost utility blockers, which I do like these quite a bit. It is a nice 4 cost utility blocker with even more utility than something like the Nico Robin, which is like what you'd call, I would consider Nico Robin like a vanilla blocker. The 2 cost blocker always looks like this across every type. 2 cost, 2000 power, 1K counter blocker. So yeah, that's the deck list, guys. If you have any questions about that, or if there's a card that you're using currently that you really like, please share it in the comments section below, because this is not meant to be like the end-all be-all list of Purple Luffy. I've even seen some people run, hang on one second, let me type it like this because I didn't load all the cards in yet. I have seen some people run this card, the 10 cost Luffy that can time warp. I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world, because honestly, like maybe you get up to 9 Dawn, you play down a Charlotte Linlin to go down to 8 next turn, and you gain a life, by the way, and then you go up to 10 Dawn the next turn, and if you have any life left, you'll be able to do quite the turn here with your purple, your Luffy. So there is some potential there. But again, if there's something I missed in here, excuse me, like a card like that you think could be really strong in the list that I do not have added, by all means, mention in the comment section below. Now, let's hop into today's videos. Let's hop into the gameplay. First game up here, we have a game versus Nami. So let me go full screen real quick and adjust my camera to right there. Perfect. And we got the volume off. We've got the speed on 2x, and we're good to go. But real quick before we do, guys, so today's matchups will be Nami, Blue Doffy, Red Purple Luffy, Red Shanks, and Blackbeard. Like I said, guys, I plan on today's video and tomorrow's video with Blackbeard. I plan on them being a little more serious, where I go over a little more relevant matchups. Not, you know, it might not always be the most relevant matchups, but I try to include as many in there as I can of the more relevant ones, so we can get an idea how these run in the format and how they can beat each deck. Okay, so let's do this, guys. We got a game versus Nami. Nami's no joke. I don't know when is the last time you guys have played against a Nami player. Nami keeps getting stronger and stronger, so make sure you brush up. You know, if you run into a Nami on the ladder, let me pause real quick. If you run into a Nami on the ladder and you're used to just like leaving or dodging, I would highly recommend against it, because I'm telling you right now, guys, Nami is a serious list, and it is very, very strong right now. Okay, they're going to start off with a Nami Searcher, very, very strong as well. We go second, by the way. Actually, we went first, excuse me. We went first. So I was going to say, I would much rather go first and start attacking. So they give me the 1-cost 2K counter Desert Spada, which I'm fine with that, because that card doesn't really do too much. You know, it doesn't make them mill cards. That's the most important thing. So we play out the Zoro. I think we grabbed a 7-cost Luffy. And the name of the game here, okay, so we're going to take this, obviously, because it's just a 1K hit. This doesn't do anything. Then they're going to pass the turn. So that card does have to go, right? We have to get rid of that card. We're going to swing 2 into 1. Let's see what he does. We're on 6 Dawn, by the way. Okay, so he used the 1K counter to get out of it. Okay, I don't plan on attacking into their life at all. So if he wants to keep doing that, that's fine. So Gum Gum Giant Gavel can only pause. Guys, please read your cards. Gum Gum Giant Gavel says you may trash 1 card from your hand, and up to 1 of your leaders gains plus 4,000 power during this turn. Then you may trash the top card of your deck. Now, they may have done that for a reason. Like, they may have done that to actually just get cards, more and more cards out of their hand. They might have a Level Up Beam or a Death Wink or something in their hand. It's very possible. But if they tried to just save that card with a 4-cost event, that, you know, maybe they did. They probably didn't. Who knows? But whatever the case is, that seemed like a mistake. Let me just say that. It seemed like a mistake. Make sure you read your cards, guys. Okay, so here we go. It looks like I'm going to use the leader effect. By the way, Purple Luffy, I think, is actually very, very strong against Nami. And notice this, guys. I have no good card in my hand to cheat out. So I think I'm just going to cheat out a blocker or the Franosuke, or just nothing at all. No, don't even swing 6 past the turn. I did not get a 5-cost. I didn't get anything good to cheat out, unfortunately. But here we go. We're going to use the leader effect again. So our hand is absolutely stacked right now, guys. We're going to use a Lin. We're going to trash a card. We're going to gain a life. And I think we're just going to go some, maybe some 6s and 8s, maybe. We'll see. Actually, we just pass. We're like, you know what? Okay, your turn. I'm just going to keep flooding this board to the best of my ability. Okay, I think we're ready to swing this turn. I think I'm doing a little bit of math. Yeah, I think we're going to go swing 9, and then slam down the new Sanji. Maybe ramp a Dawn after cheating it out, or pulling it back. We'll see what happens. Okay, so 9's going to get hit with a White Snake into a Gum Gum Giant Gavel, trashing those cards. 9 more. I'm saying you're going to have to give me all these Giant Gavels. Yep, he gives me another one. That's fine. Well, now I can go 6 in. He only has 1 card in hand. What is it? Let's see. It was a Death Wink. Wow, so like I said, maybe he was playing around on the previous turn trying to get cards out of his hand. So we're going to play out the 9-cost Luffy here. Return a Dawn, draw a card, use the leader effect, ramp a Dawn, and now he's swinging for 6. He has no Dawn active, so he'll either take this or give me a 2K counter. He gets a draw 2 trigger, of course, swinging for 10. He gets another draw 2 trigger. Well, it's a draw 1, trash 1 trigger. Same thing, a 2-card difference trigger. This guy is getting a pretty good pull here, guys. He's already gone through a Death Wink and everything. And like I said, I will say this, guys. I think that like probably Blue Doffy and Purple Luffy are the strongest of the top 4 decks right now against Nami. But Shanks is no slouch either. Shanks is pretty good as well. But I'll tell you what, the 2 I just said, Purple Luffy and Blue Doffy, whew, man, they go to town on Nami here. So okay, we're gonna go in for 10. We're gonna go in for 10 and probably just slam down a Sanji and swing in for 8 more. Okay, so they're going to use a, let's see what they take it. They're down to 2 life already. We're swinging in for 10 more. Let's see if he wants to take this. He just gave me all of those 1K counters and then Death Winks to draw more cards. And here we go. That's another reason why it's not the greatest idea to just like counter or go in with a crazy big attack. Okay, they do a Level Up Beam for a 6K attack, and now we're going for 7 into 6. and rest that card down just because, and then going for 8. This should go through unless they have a 2K, 1K in hand they want to give me. Okay, well, they have 14 cards left in their deck. Guys, let's see what happens. Sanji's pull off. They're down to 12 or 11, I guess, because they drew for the turn. Play out a Buggy. I think they whiffed the search, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, and here we go. They have to get through 11 cards with only 6 Dawn and 1 life, like 1 potential life trigger. So I think we're just going to go 11s to just round this out. Like, all right, just go ahead and give me all of your power right here. I'm going to go in for 11. Now she's probably going for 12. Oh, he took that, so we're just going to go in for 18. And that's that. He does have Kaya. He just needed to survive this one turn and he wins automatically, right? At least for the most part. But there's no way he's getting out of that. Good game. Nami is a tough matchup for most decks, guys. But decks that can flood the board very quickly and get lots of attacks in across the board, board-wide, that's your best chance against Nami, whether you're playing Purple Luffy or not. Okay, next game. So that was against Nami. The next one is going to be against Blue Doffy. Blue Doffy, very important matchup here. This is kind of like a race to who can fill out the board the best, the fastest. That's the way that I would see this. Okay, so we go first. We're going to ramp it on. We're going to swing 5 and just slam down a 4-cost Zoro pretty much. Yep, that's the play here. We'll go ahead and grab a 2K counter. Let's keep a very aggressive counter hand where we can get out of stuff so we can take our own life as much as we want to. And here we go. Let's see what they choose to do next. They're going to set their top card. I think they set it to a boa, and then they slam that down and they swing in for 9K. Or no, they did. I was thinking of a whole different game. So here we go. We're going to swing in for 5. Let's see what they choose to do. And we're going to swing in for 6. And here I'm going to take one of my own life cards again, play out a Luffy Taro, and cheat out the Sangoro. And there you go. There's the trio right there, guys. If you can get that down, you're in good shape. And this is before their 7 Dawn. They're on a 6 Dawn turn, guys. They can't even Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. And do you want to send these cards back to my hand like a Trafalgar Law? With the 4-cost Law, you can bounce back my Zoro, and I get to draw again from it. You know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense. 10 into 6, I don't know. I let it go. I think I should have countered out aggressively in case they do have a pudding. I don't think there's any reason to not counter out of that, to be honest. Okay, so we're still going to go into the board here. We're going to go 6 into 6. Right here, he's going to give me a 1K. 8 into 6. That's gone. And let's see what we do next. Play out the Sanji, it looks like. We will Dawn -1. We'll tap down this guy. We'll go 5 into him and then 8 if he survives. And, yep, the board's mine. So the board is mine. They're down to 2 life, and I don't know what they're going to do. They're not getting rid of any of these characters. That I can promise you. He would have to hit me with a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger there, and it can only hit one target. It can only hit my Sangoro. He's going to swing 8 into 6, but he gave me a 2K, 1K with that pudding. He hit me with a pudding, by the way, guys. It doesn't do anything. He hits me with law. He just gives up. Yeah, the game's over. There's no way to survive here. Because if I start swinging in, by the way, I wouldn't just swing in. I would swing at face, and then I'd follow up. Look at this. I get a 2K counter from the top of my deck. I have a 1-cost searcher I'm going to play out right away. Then I'm going to play out my Onami to fix my hand a little bit. And then I'm sitting on a 1-cost Gravity, Gum Gum Giant. And I have all these attacks on the board, so that card's gone. You know, the Trafalgar Law is going to be gone. His life's going to probably be down to 0. And I still have 2 life, and I'll have a blocker on the board. So there's just no way to get out of it. Good stuff. Purple Luffy and Blue Doffy, I think, is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. I probably should have gotten a few more games in to this matchup, but I think it's going to be a pretty even one. Okay, next up we have Purple Luffy versus Red Purple Luffy. Okay, Luffy on Luffy violence here. You hate to see it. But at the same time, Red Purple Luffy is on the rise. So for people who might be thinking this is not a meta matchup, that's fine for you to think that. I don't totally disagree, but I do think it's like at least tier 1.5 if it's not tier 1 or, you know, obviously not tier 0. But okay, Trafalgar Law here. Gonna grab I think it grabbed the Zoro Searcher, and let's see what we do here. They're going to swing for 7. I have a decent amount of counter power in hand. I might just use the counter power, yeah, so I can take my own life and draw another card. Okay, and ramp a Dawn, obviously. So right here, we're going to swing for 6. Then we're going to play out a Zoro. We're going to go ahead and grab looks like a blocker. I kind of like that, you know, because I don't want to use the Sanji as a blocker, obviously. I will if I have to, but I don't plan on it. So they're up to 9 Dawn now. Red Purple Luffy is very strong at ramping Dawn. And here we go. I'm going to swing in for 6. We are going to 2K counter out of that. They're going to swing for 6 more. We're going to take that. Very nice. We get another 2K counter. And I'm very tempted to get this Sanji, excuse me. I'm very tempted to get this Bon Kure off the board. Because Bon Carré makes it where I can't really do what I want, right? Bon Carré makes it where it's like, okay, now when I start playing out these huge characters, he's going to match their power. So I'm very tempted to go to 8 Dawn here, play out the Usohachi, rest that guy, swing 5 into him, and do that. And now I still have 5 Dawn for the turn, so it looks like I can play this out, do a little bit of fixing here. We'll swing for 6. We'll leave 1 Dawn active for a Gum Gum Giant, just in case. We got a 2K counter from his hand anyway. That was the best of all worlds. Ben Beckman's going to pop my searcher, or not my searcher, excuse me, my blocker there seems good. They're going to go 8 into 6 here. Very tempting to save that card, very tempting, but I need to practice some restraint there. We need to not pull the trigger early on anything like that. It's much better to get to 10 Dawn first before you start using your Gum Gum Giants, guys. Like, please try to focus on that. So here we go. What are we going to do? This is a 6,000 power leader, very annoying, but I think we need to fill out the board. I think that's the right call here. Play out Luffy Taro, playing out the Sangoro, and gonna swing for 7 and pass the turn. So I'm trying to go as wide as I can. They're going to play out a Newgate. That's a little bit scary, but anything they turn sideways, I will demolish, right? Like, I will just start smashing into that Ben Beckman. I'll swing into the Ben Beckman over the leader because it's a lower power anyway, right? Ben Beckman is a 7,000 power character. The red-purple Luffy's 8,000 power this turn. So, that would become my natural target. So here we go. They're going to swing 7 into 5. I do take this, which is a little bit greedy. That was a little bit greedy, guys. I'm not going to lie. But I think I'm going to 2K, or Gum Gum Giant to get out of this regardless. Okay, so here we go. I think my plan that entire turn was to use Gum Gum Giant. So I was like, okay, I'll get out of the bigger attack while drawing cards and getting out other potential better options. Okay, so here we go. We'll go 8 into 7. This should get a 2K out of hand. Oh, just lets it go. Okay, we will take that, right? We will take that. I'll probably swing blank with Sanji just to draw a card, even though that will not connect. Hey, guys, that will not connect because he's an 8,000 power character, but that was also not a blunder. That was done intentionally. I did that on purpose so that I could draw a card and give him another character to attack into on the board. I'm fine with that. I need to try to protect my life at this point. I'm at 1 life. So I'm basically 1 attack away from a 10-cost Luffy just winning him the game. So here we go. So I think right here, it's either play double blocker. Actually, I don't have the little blocker anymore, do I? Oh, that's right. I already used the Nami. Never mind. I was thinking about the Onami. So I think we're probably just going to gain some life here. Actually, no, we are going to go with the quote-unquote safer route and play out a blocker, play out this Bon Carré, and I'm basically bluffing a 1-cost event, guys. I'm bluffing a Gum Gum Giant. Like, hey, do you want to try to risk it? Because if you risk it and go all in and you don't get it, you're going to lose for sure. It's like, meanwhile, you're still in control of this game. Maybe try to just use your board and eat my board. That's the smart play, right? But no, seriously, I do have quite a bit of counter power in hand. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5K counter in hand. I have the blocker. He swings in. He's going to get rid of 2 characters there at once. That was pretty nice, popping my Bon Carré. Excuse me. But let's see what he does now. We are in a very tough situation here. Going into that card is a little bit crazy to me. But at the same time, I'm just going to save it, guys. I'm just going to save the card because I need as many attacks on the board as I can get. So here we go. Let's see what happens next. Just waiting on our opponent to pass the turn. They do. All right. And it's going to be swing 8. Let's see if he takes this, it's a really bad sign. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to swing 6 because I don't plan on going for lethal. I know you're trying to bait me. I know this guy's trying to bait me. He uses a 2K. We take that. Very nice. We're going to play out the 10 cost, or excuse me, the 9 cost Linlin. Pull back a card, gain a life. We're going to let him have the Nami because I do have 2 life, and I do have, I don't know. We're just going to risk him putting everything on the Nami. Go right ahead. Goes into my board a little bit here. I think he should be going more for life because I think he probably could have had lethal there. Okay, so maybe not lethal if he was going to play that card down, but he was, it was getting pretty close. So we're going to let that card go, but here's the thing, guys. Can he survive now? That becomes the question. I'm going to swing in for 8 right here. Let's see what happens. Okay, takes that. We'll see what we do next here. I have to do a little bit of math. I'm like, wait a minute. Do I just, load this guy up? Do we just load up the Usopp and say good luck? Okay, here we go. Going to swing for 8. This would take both cards out of his hand if he even has it, and then we're coming in for 7 plus 2 is 9. And, yeah, coming in for 9. You have 2 2Ks or you don't. or 2K and 2 1Ks. And he did not. He had a single 1K. He did not leave a Dawn active because he played out the Shanks. Which, again, that kind of makes me think he probably should have tried to go for lethal that turn, in my opinion. And hear me out. Like, here's what I'm saying by go for lethal. He might not have had, because I do have a 2K counter in my life, but I'm just saying, like, what he probably should have done there was, okay, he had the Nami on the board, right? So he has a 10K attack. That doesn't need any extra Dawn to it. 10K is a huge attack. But he could split 5 and 5 between the two. Hang on, so that'd be 7, 11. So he could take 2 off of that. Yeah, so he could have gone, I think, 9, 9, 9. Let me do that, or 9, 9, 10, obviously. Let me do the math on it. 6 plus 2 is 8, right? Plus 10 is 18. Yeah, so he could have done 9, 9, 10. And looking at my hand, guys, yep, I'm not surviving. So let's go back to that turn real quick. Especially if you're a red-purple Luffy player, it is good to play very defensively. But this was, remember, this is how this turn started. Let me go back all the way to right here. So this was the turn, right, that they lost. What they tried to do right here is swing for 14 at face. Okay, so they did have to use 2 on their leader. So never mind. Maybe they couldn't do it. I guess maybe they couldn't, but I don't know. Whatever the case is, you got to be careful when you're going for lethal. Always try to leave Dawn open so you can get out of these big attacks with your 1-cost and 2-cost events and things like that. Okay, next up we have a game versus Red Shanks here. Let me go full screen. The volume is off. Speed's on 2x. We're good to go. Shanks is a matchup, guys. Shanks is an absolute nightmare matchup right now. Very, very tough matchup. You have to be careful with. But let's see what happens. I start off with a 1-cost Law Searcher. We're going to be ramping a Dawn on turn 1, or on turn 2, rather, on every single game. You're just going to do it. Slam down the 4-cost 6K, and your turn. I swung in for 5. They're just going to counter it. It's fine. And not counter. They're going to use their leader effect. Okay, so here we go. They're going to swing in for 7. We do have a 2K, 1K we can use. Might as well get out of it so we can ramp more comfortably next turn. And look at that. No follow-up. Excuse me, no follow-up here. So I'm going to swing in for 6. Let's see what they choose to do. They take. Interesting. I'm going to swing for 5. Let's see if he wants to. He used the leader effect on my leader. I think that was a good play. I'm going to ramp a Dawn. Going to play out a Luffy. Going to cheat out a Sanji. And man, that curve right there, we got to pause and talk about that for a second. It feels so good, guys, when you're going first. You ramp to 4 on your second turn. You go from 1 Dawn to 4 Dawn on your second turn. Play out the Zoro, which replaces itself. And then on the next turn, you go to 6 Dawn, ramp to 7 with your leader effect. And remember, you're drawing, that's going to draw you 2 cards along the way as well. 3 cards, technically, because of the Zoro. 2 from life, 1 from Zoro. And then you're cheating out a 7-cost Luffy, going back down to 6 with your Sanji. That combo, if you can hit that, guys, the tempo is outrageously good. It is so, so strong. Okay, so let's see what they choose to do here. I'm on 6 Dawn, so next turn I go to 8 Dawn. So now if he had played out a Lucky Roo to try to get rid of one of my characters or something, I have an Usohachi in hand I could have gotten around it with anyway. So he swings for 7 into my 6. I'm going to give him a 2K counter. He is a 6K leader for the turn. But honestly, guys, we just don't care, do we? We're just going to go 7, 7, 8 here, I'm pretty sure. Actually, yeah, I feel like I should have gone 6 with my leader first. Yeah, go 6 with the leader. Come on, you know, past tense version of me. Go back, just swing 6 with the leader to start. That's okay. We're going to swing for 7 first so we can draw a card. Then we're going to swing for 7 again. 7's a very good number here. I'm hoping he uses the leader effect so I can just swing for 6 with my leader. Okay, so let's see what he does here. Just waiting on our opponent to figure it out. This is a tough decision because they have 7 cards in hand, but how low do they want to go in life? My board is completely stacked. So they give my leader minus 1,000 and take that hit. Okay, so they're trying to play around my leader attack. Okay, I'm not really upset with that, right? So right here, I think I should probably load 1 on the leader and swing for 9, but I guess it didn't matter. He's a 6K leader, never mind. Play out a searcher here. Do a top four search. We grab Onami. We'll play out the Eustace Kid, and we're going to pass the turn. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. We're in a very good position. Guys, that card is very annoying. That the Yasop, very, very annoying card. I block and give him a 2K because I see he has 7 Dawn left, right? He wants to play out a Ben Beckman. Understand, guys, when you see these plays people are doing, so let's go back real quick and analyze this and break it down real quick. So watch this, guys. Okay, we're playing against Shanks. So what did he do for the turn? He has invested. He has 8 Dawn. and he is going to invest one Dawn into his Yasop. And what does that do? It seems like a good play, because swing 7, -1, 5. It seems like a pretty calculated play. Right, but what is he trying to achieve with this? Yeah, he wants to get something off the board or out of my hand. But what will his follow-up play be? Right, so in other words, when I see him swinging for 7, my thought process is this. Okay, but what's his next play? And try to get in the habit of doing that. Like, why is he only swinging for 7? He has something else in mind, right? That is generally what's going on here. And he might not play a Ben Beckman. It might be a total coincidence. But I'm going to play around what I think is the best play, which would be a 7 Dawn follow-up with Ben Beckman. So I block and 2K counter. Now he has a 5 into 5 attack. Easy peasy. That's a 1K counter. Let's see what he plays out next. He could load up Uda, play out of Uruj. I don't know. But I'm going to play around what I think is the most optimal play for him this turn, which would be developing a body. There it is. There's Ben Beckman. Developing a body and removing a character. He just had to waste 2 effects on my Sanji just in order to get rid of it, because that's the character he really wanted to go. But we thought about it. We saw what happened there, and we played around it. But here's the bad news for my opponent. My board is absolutely stacked still, guys. Honestly, I should probably be going for face, but I think I go for the board here. So we go 6 into 5. Let's see if he chooses to -1 anything. 2K counter. Okay, his leader effect is still active, so I'm going to keep the 2K, the 6K attacks going. Leader. Okay, so there's his leader effect. His leader effect is gone. Now I can go 8 into 6. Let's see if he wants to give me 2 very strong counters. He does not. I play out the Sanji. I return some Dawn there. Bring a Dawn back with the Eustace Kid. But I think I messed up. I was supposed to bring back more Dawn with my... hang on. So that was actually a unintended mistake there. Let me show you guys something. So I have... hang on, let me go back. Okay, so I have 9 Dawn, right? So I was supposed to return more than 1 Dawn, but I think I like fat-fingered it or messed up. I misclicked. So watch, I swing 8 into the Yasop. Yasop goes away. Now watch this. Play this card out. And then Sanji has returned 1 or more Dawn, right? I believe he has returned 1 or more Dawn. I think I was supposed to remove 2 Dawn for the play I'm trying to do here, because watch this, guys. So I do that. I tap this down. I get a Dawn back from the Eustace Kid, and now there should be 1 more Dawn in my Dawn deck. And watch this. I swing for 7. I use my leader effect to ramp to 4 Dawn. Oh, wait a minute. I only have 3 Dawn because I didn't return more than 1 Dawn with the Sanji. So that was a play mistake on my part, but it was really more of like a, I should have clicked twice better, I guess, however you say that. Maybe it was lag. I'm just going to blame myself, guys. I'll take full blame for it. That was meant to, I should have returned multiple Dawn with Sanji to have what would have been an absolutely like immaculate perfect turn there, where I would replace the 1 cost dude, the 1 cost Trafalgar Law for a 4 cost Onami, trashing the Zoro Juro in my hand to draw 2, trash 1. Like, well, trashing the Zoro to draw 2. It would have been an absolutely perfect play, but it's not the end of the world. In fact, what I think I should do here, I have 3 Dawn active, and I took a life, so he knows what's going on there. Taking that life, guys, actually ends up winning me this game, because I grabbed a 2K counter from my life with that effect. Now, watch what happens. 5 into 7. Okay, fully counter out. Notice that I was able to fully counter out of that, and then this one, and now look, now he only gets 1 attack in. It's going to be my Eustace Kid, and now I have to try to go for game. I have no choice. He has a fully stacked hand, but we're going to go in for 8s all the way down the board. So, okay, he takes that hit. Interesting. Okay, well, pause. So what I was about to do there, I was going to load everything up on 1 character and swing, but no, I had to fix it. I was going to swing for 6 with my leader and 6 with the Zoro to get 2Ks out of hand, or to get him to use his leader effect in a 1K, and then everything else on my Sanji. So really good game there. That was a fun one. Very technical game, guys. When it comes to Purple Luffy, his leader effect early on is very, I don't want to call it no skill, but it's just common sense early on. But there are tricks you can play with this leader later on in the game that have a lot of value, like plays with your 5 cost Eustace Kid, right, where you bring Dawn back and then use your leader effect to bring a Dawn back if needed. There are a lot of really cool plays to keep in mind, to look out for. Okay, we have 1 more game against Blackbeard. You guys know I gotta have a Blackbeard game in here, of course. Okay, volume's already off. Gotta put the speed at 2x, and here we go. Generally speaking, I do think Blackbeard is kind of pretty good into this leader. But it does force them to use their leader effect very often, and it'll make them go down in card size, and we can just continue to go board wide before swinging in and investing in. So they're going to use Lafitte here. They're going to swing for 5, and let's see if they use their leader effect early on. We actually 2K counter out of that. They're going to play out another Lafitte, so they're going to trash a card from their hand and draw a card, or excuse me, and make it where I can't use my on-play effects. Very wise, very smart there. I like that. But at the same time, we're going to play around it to the best of our ability. We play out a 4-cost 6K Zoro. That's still a vanilla body. They swing into my Trafalgar Law. It's all yours. And we have to keep these card draw cards off the board. Lafitte has to go. It has to go. Okay? So here we go. It looks like swing 5 into 1. He's not saving that. No one's saving that card. He did use his leader effect. But I don't know if I want to actually swing in here. It looks like I do. I was going to say, I don't know if I should have or not. We're going to play out the Sanji, and then we're going to pass the turn. We have 1 Dawn active for a Gum Gum Giant. He is going to -4 to my Sanji with Laboon, KO it with the Jack, 5 in, I'll 6K out. I have to be very wise with my life in this matchup. Okay, let's see what happens here. So he used his leader effect again. And right here, I think I need to go for the board. I'm going to go 5 into 5. He lets it go. I'm like, okay, well, then we're going to go 10 into 8, I guess. Because why not? I guess, actually, we'll probably go, yeah, we'll go 12 into 8. No chances. Slam down a, there was a reason to slam down the 4-cost, right? We're trying to put this card down so that we can match whatever Blackbeard they play for the rest of the game. And they're only on 9 Dawn, by the way. They're not on 10 Dawn like I am. Because remember, our leader ramps. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what the Blackbeard player chooses to do here. They have 9 Dawn, so they're going to swing for 6, and they have 8 Dawn left for the turn. I do take this. Double Burgess is a very common play. They're trying to set up for their Blackbeard as well. Okay, well, I mean, at the same time, Blackbeard is nice and all, but we might have to get aggressive here, right? We might have to get aggressive. So we're going to swing for 7. We're going to swing for 9 or 8, whatever. And then we're going to... okay, so he KOs my character with a finger pistol. And not a big deal. So right here I have 9 Dawn left. Let's see what I choose to do. So it looks like I want to have 6 Dawn left for my blocker. We'll see 6 Dawn left for the blocker, 7 Dawn left for the blocker, and a 1K in the 1-cost 2K, I think. Nope, just kidding. I'm going to flood the board completely and say your turn. Just kidding. Totally tricked you guys. Got y'all. Caught y'all looking. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that was I knew he's playing out Blackbeard, right? So he swings in for 9. I have to take that. I mean, I could try to get out of it, I guess, but I should probably try to get out of this one, to be honest. But we take it. I think we're going all in this turn. It's going to be swing 5, swing 5. Wait. It's going to be swing 7, and then it's going to be swing 6, swing 6. We kind of messed that up, but whatever. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, I remember this game. Let's see who can predict what happens next. All right, we'll play out a blocker, and we'll sell 2 1-cost events. We should be fine, guys. We should be completely fine. Gutsy play here, guys. Risky. This is to show how strong this new event is, this Gum Gum Giant. Okay, so he's going to swing in for 12. Okay, well, you can have a blocker, because that's your biggest attack anyway. He plays out something there to turn off my leader effect. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Okay, well, we have to Gum Gum Giant out of this one to trash this card, to draw 2 cards. We go to 11. We're going to 2K, 1K to get out of this one. Okay, your turn. Guys, this turn is absolutely insane. These Gum Gum Giants are so crazy. Swinging for 12, okay, no problem. We'll trash this card. We'll trash the other giant because we don't need it, right? I win this turn or I lose. It's that simple. I either lose this turn or I win. So we go up 2K, 1K, 1K is how I do that. So that way, you know, I kept... So the reason I kept the Uso Hachi Hams just in case he played out another blocker with whatever Dawn he had left. I was like, all right, we'll just keep that because I will go right up to 8 Dawn after this because I'm down to 6 from the double giants. And then I'll go up to 8. Guys, that was... I just got out of... Understand, I just got out of 2. Well, technically speaking, because I had 2 blockers, I just got out of 2 12K attacks, an 11K, and what would have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, another 12K. So with 2 blockers and 2 Gum Gum Giants and whatever they got me, that was out of two 12K attacks. Or it was 11K and a 12K that I got out of, and then I blocked one 12K, and I had a blocker left. That's why he just gave up. He couldn't do anything with his leader, and then I just swing 15 at face. GG. Good game. That was a fun one. Guys, that event, let's go ahead and go over to it real quick just to kind of wrap this up with, let me move my face. This event is very strong. It's not horrible. We'll just say it like that, right, guys? Hey, it's not horrible. But really good stuff here. This effect is incredible, or excuse me, this event is incredible. Maybe too strong. Some people might argue. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to go down that road right now. Maybe for a future video topic of the day. But yeah, here's the list, guys. That's what we ran for all this. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do not hesitate to tell me what you think down in the comment section below. What's a spicy tech card that you're running right now for which matchup? Which matchups are you struggling with? So on and so forth. This deck felt very strong to play, especially if you hit that natural curve. I choose to go first every time, guys, so I can put the pressure on, and I can do my turn 2 4 Dawn play into turn 3 7 Dawn play with Sangoro. That play is absolutely stacked, guys. And then if you have to on the next turn, yeah, slam down the 9-cost Linlin. Because you'll go to 7 Dawn down to 6 after playing Luffy and Dawn -1ing, and then you'll go up to 8 next turn, and then +1 with the leader effect to go to 9 here, and to go down to 8 after playing the effect. So it's just very, very strong. And let me see something with the Sanji real quick. Yeah, you may return 1 or more of your Dawn cards from play to your Dawn deck. So again, guys, I have to stress this one more time. That one game against Shanks, I still won, but there was an even more optimal play if when I'd played this out, I had done Dawn -2 to get 1 Dawn back with my 5-cost Eustace Kid, and then the other Dawn back with my Monkey D. Luffy, still getting the 2K counter out of life and establishing that 4-cost blocker and fixing my hand even more. So that was this deck has a lot of potential, guys, and this is a very fun deck to play, and it does reward high skill level, high skill play. All right, I'm done rambling, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, or I think I might not have mentioned that in today's video, but please don't forget to like and subscribe if you've not already. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those in the comment section below. And guys, if you're supporting my channel already, I just want to say thank you so much for whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing. You know, we even have like you know, my Red Yellow Sabo crowd. We have this entire channel now on Red Yellow Sabo stats where we're trying to compile the list to see which is the best Red Yellow Sabo deck. So if you're contributing in that way, or just being a part of the Discord community, whatever it might be, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, big shout out to everybody on the VV Pirates Playmat supporter page here. Thank you guys so much for supporting me in that way. And then on top of that, the patrons, of course, thank you so much to everyone on here. To all the VV Pirates patrons for trying to help me out in the ways for helping me. I'm not trying, for helping me out in the ways you do, and going above and beyond, keeping the dream alive. Okay, that's it. We're done. Hope you all enjoyed. Till next time. Peace.